1, 2, 3, testing. Think we are live. Hi, I'm Cypherin, here creating a tutorial for Spider-Man versus the King, or also dubbed The Amazing Spider-Man versus the Kingpin. Yeah, I think this has been a long time coming, and I'm gonna put this together in hopes that other people might consider picking up this run, and then yeah, spreading the love for this game. I came to know this game thankfully through Blockbuster Video back in the day. Renting it many times and barely been able to beat it back then. And yeah, today I speedrun it and currently have the default world records for both normal and nightmare. So for this run, I will go over actually both normal and nightmare difficulty, and yeah, take it from there. So I am right now playing on my EverDrive X7. I won't be using any save states or anything. I'll probably just, if I have to, take intentional deaths at certain points just to highlight areas or just pause and explain certain things, such. The run's not that complicated or anything, and I expect as new runners come in, they'll add more to the route or create their own routes and such. But this is just the starter, and then essentially the future generation can come and improve on it. With that said, let's start here. We go into options. We have level, stamina, web cartridges. Level, of course, determines our difficulty, where you have, I think the easiest being between practice and easy. I forget if it takes you through the full game, like if you do practice or whatnot. But I primarily, again, play normal and nightmare. Stamina will make it so, like, if you have it super low, super high, then, you know, Spider-Man won't be much damage. Otherwise, tired, like, it'll take very few hits to kill Spider-Man. And I have been, for the longest time, thinking of creating a low percent, per se, for this run, which that you put your stamina to tired and, you know, have to beat the game that way, as well as make sure your web cartridges are low, which I believe the default is 5, which, as I'm pressing through the options here, I actually forgot. So let's just reset here. Hopes that it defaults it back to what it's supposed to be. I don't think it did. Maybe. Alright. I'm just gonna reload this, as I mentioned again. Alright. So we're gonna reload. Okay. Go into options. Yep, normal 5 web cartridges. There is a way to put cheats into the game, like unlimited webbing and invincibility and some other stuff. We don't use any cheats for the speed run at all. So I would say ignore the cheat codes that are on game FAQs and such, because they're not allowed for the speed run here. But usually at the start of the run, as for the rules that have been currently set, go into the options menu, show your difficulty settings, make sure everything is as they should be, set to default, or if you're playing on nightmare, switch to nightmare, and then hop back to here, and then start of the run. And timer starts when you do start game here. So 3, 2, 1. And I'm not actually going to start the timer, but usually it's 3, 2, 1, go. Through these cutscenes that happen, if you hold the start button, you can skip them. If you like to watch them, you can actually scroll the text here too. Just a little casual tidbit to throw in there. such. But usually, all the cutscenes that you see in the game, just hold start button and you'll skip them. So at the start here, for those not familiar with the game, if you pause the game, this first icon just represents your webbing. Second icon is your web shield, which I think takes a total of 3 hits before it gets destroyed, it gets damaged, and you'll when you select it and unpause, you activate it by hitting the web button, which by default, I don't think you can change it. By default, is the A button on the 3-button Genesis controller, which I am using the 3-button controller for this tutorial. B is attack, jump, and we'll go over into the other movement options in a second. But just continuing with the menu that you see here, the third icon, which I can't highlight right now, is the camera. And I think that's just because this is an intro stage, sort of teaching you the mechanics of the game. Such and it's not highlighted. Usually you get 3 cameras, and based on who you take photos of, such as lowly henchmen versus actual bosses, will determine how much money you can gain from those photos, which that's represented next to the Peter Parker face in the lower menu. But before we get to there, the last icon here is Peter Parker himself. And if you go here, it takes you back to his apartment where you can recoup health. Such for the speed run, this is not utilized, but maybe run somebody might have a need or find a way to put it to use to avoid like a death in a future state. I initially thought to do that as going through the run, but I got to a point where I was able to be risky enough and not rely on the apartment, so I don't use it. Um, Besides the score and high score pieces here, off to the right you see keys that are highlighted, and as you go through each of these stages and you fight various members of Spider-Man's villain rogues gallery, you pick up keys to defuse a bomb. That's the primary objective for the most part in this game, at least in the beginning, is that Kingpin has framed Spider-Man, saying that Spider-Man is planting a bomb in New York that's going to blow up in the next 24 hours. Um, Spider-Man, to clear his name and to save New York, is looking around for clues and various villains to help him collect keys to defuse the bomb. And I think first hears of the bomb from the first villain, which is Doctor Octopus. At least keys. He collects his first key, I believe. So we'll go into the keys. Probably more so when we get close to defusing the bomb. Lastly, you got your life, your web, the Peter Parker face again, just to show that that's what I've highlighted here in the menu. The money, the $sign next to that is again for the photos that I take. Lowly henchmen can be worth $5, and depending on like the scale of enemy, like in terms of like difficulty and such, that that amount will go up. And villains themselves, bosses, tend to be worth like $250. At the end of a level, after you've taken photos, you can use the money from your photos to buy more web fluid, because that was a thing back in the day with Spider-Man. Average guy with an average type of job, trying to make ends meet. He needed to find, using his side, I won't say gig, but using his side thing as Spider-Man. He used that to help collect money and pay his rent and whatever else he needed, as well as buy the material to make web fluid. And for a game back then like this, to incorporate that was really cool and helped with the immersion of the game. And let me continue so I don't jibber jabber too much. Last but not least, the time in the lower right corner is the clock that represents the 24-hour clock before the bomb explodes and destroys all of New York. So As you as you play, the clock not real time. It's an accelerated clock. I used to at one point in time know uh, how long it took for a minute to actually count down, but just know it's not an actual real time minute, so or real time hours. One thing to note though, if you die in this game, the clock goes down by 2 hours. Such. So in fact, you have what is it like? Well, I guess let's just say you have like a total of 12 deaths you can take in the game, or things go kaput. So it almost seems like you have infinite continues, but you do not. The game is merciful up until that time goes out. Goes out. Anywho, though, so in the beginning here, you have this old lady walking, and it's because again, Kingpin framed Spider-Man. Everybody is out to get him, including the cops here. So we're gonna go ahead and take him out. And again, just to go through the moves that Spider-Man has, I'm jumping around. I think I could duck him too. Yeah, duck him, crawl. But yeah, so typical attacks. A button is web. B button is attack. B is jump. Well, let's go ahead. Take the cop out here. If you barely press the C button, Spider-Man does this short hop versus a bigger hop, such as that. Spider-Man again has this punch. As he crouches by holding down on the D-pad, he has this little kick here. If you jump in the air and attack, you have this jump kick, which is at times sort of hard to connect against other enemies and such. But it is very vital in certain boss fights coming up later in the game. And last again, going back from first to last to first, webbing. With the webbing, you shoot out these web balls. When you shoot a web, you can aim them diagonally up and down, but not diagonally. You can aim them diagonally up, left, and right, but you cannot aim them diagonally down, left, and right. Such as this, and that happens just by holding up. So Spider-Man won't shoot straight up; he shoots diagonally from where he's positioned. When you're in the air, if you jump in the air, he shoots the web ball straight forward, and that's about it. You can't aim any direction. And then before I get into web slinging, certain backgrounds such as these buildings here, don't mind the tug of war that's all happening over there. We'll get to that. Certain backgrounds Spider-Man can actually cling to, but if you jump and press the C button again, he'll stick to it and do his trademark wall crawling. Such windows here, as you see, they call Spider-Man the slide, but he can actually crawl up. As for the speed run, when it comes to crawling like this or on any kind of other surfaces, we'll get to in the next stage. I tend to mash the jump button because it makes the wall crawling go way faster, as you can see. Otherwise, if I just crawl normally, and that takes all day. But you can do that. You don't need to mash, but I feel mashing is way faster. Yeah, that's how you do that. Now web swinging. When you're in the air, like either you jump or just in the air, period, and you see Spider-Man is in his animation for being in the air. Just hold the A button. Spider-Man does cool web swinging animation. I always loved this, even as a kid. Cool little poses. I think they capture that really well. But yeah, you do that, and then to continue web swinging, just let go of the jump button and press A again. One thing that's really integral, and it's mentioned in the instruction booklet for the game, is that you can control the direction Spider-Man goes in as he web swings a little bit. So like, say for right now, if I let go of the jump button, he's just gonna go straight up. I think he's gonna jump. And if I hold down, he's gonna just go straight down. Really, that's about all it is when it comes to the directions and stuff. And you can, of course, hold left or right to continue in a direction. But it's really important that you, as for the speed run, know that down is actually an option too. Just so you can let go, and it allows you to continue your web swings. And that becomes helpful in certain areas where your web swing is like vital for your movement. And also just for the speed run, if you get better with your web swings, the faster you'll go and complete levels. So, again, last but not least, Spider-Man can crawl on the ground. It's slow, which is it's actually slower than walking. So, certain areas you may want to walk instead of crawl. Crawling might be the safety or safer approach at certain points. But walking is faster and jumping is faster than walking. You'll see me take advantage of that in certain areas too. Now that the mechanics are out the way as far as the game goes, I don't think there's anything else to show off besides like if I wanted to the web shield or something else. Go ahead and knock out that guy. This guy, as you saw this old lady, she initially came off on the left side of the screen, walked to the middle here. This guy, on normal, comes off, well, on both normal and nightmare, comes from the right side of the screen here, and stops here and starts grabbing at her purse. On normal, you can't take him out until he actually initiates the animation, take her purse. You have to wait till he does the first pull and then you can punch him. On Nightmare, however, as soon as you know he's about to come, you can either web shoot him or you can punch him off the screen and he'll go down. But you do have to take out, I don't know if you have to take out the officer, we might actually check that. But you do have to take out this thug for sure, or climb up this building. This window here opens up. If you don't take out that thug, this window won't open up and you can't proceed to the next level. Go ahead, show that really quick. That here. You also get to see when I hold start here. I'll skip right by the cutscene. I'm gonna leave the top alone too, just so. The window's closed now. I can't get in. Oh, another thing. If you hold down when these are ledges. If you hold down while going through a ledge, you will fall through the ledge. So that's sort of important too. Especially when you're trying to escape enemy fire or something, or again use optimal movements and whatnot. So let's leave the police officer alone. They got the thug. Yeah, okay, so now the window opens up. So you don't technically even have to hit fight the officer here. See, the officer will hurt you if they hit you. Your choice. I like to, as soon as I start and I move on the screen, I'm just 2 jump kicks. That's all it takes. And then the jump kicks also highlight, that jump kick highlights how the jump kick is a tad bit stronger than your normal punch, because it would have taken extra punches to take out the officer, as well as extra crouching kicks to do it as well. So 2 jump kicks and that was it. Smash jump to get up the building here and just go right inside. So again, this is considered a cutscene. If you want to and you don't mind, you can wait here and take in the story. You can scroll the text fast too, just to get through, or you can even slow it down if it's going by too fast and you want to take in, again, the story at your pace. Yeah, he's going to the docks now to try to dig up information on how to disarm the bomb. I believe it's the docks. So now we're in this warehouse, and I'm going to show something. Casually, as you play this, the normal route is you fall. I just picked up maybe some webbing. I should have showed what that icon looked like, because there's various different icons that represent different things like health and webbing, or even picking up more photography more camera icon items or something. But this route that I'm taking is the normal route. Oh, and I totally forgot as I'm moving through this, which there was a dog below. You can totally avoid him. If you want to, you can, I think, web up the dog so that he doesn't... Actually, I think this dog you can web up. I might be thinking of the Sega CD, but here, or just check really quick. Yeah, so this dog, you can't do anything about it. Kick him, but will not go down no matter what you do. I take note of these crates. I'm gonna come back here and I'm gonna highlight something particular for Nightmare. I've dubbed the Noble Boy skip only because I knew a speedrunner named Noble Boy 77. He brought it to my attention that those crates are very important, so I wanted to give homage to him. It might have been found out well before that, but he brought it to me, so I named it after him. But yeah, totally lost my train of thought there. But one thing again I wanted to call out is how you can hang from walls and ceilings. Just like the backgrounds in the first stage, if you just go up to a wall or a ceiling, jump, and then press the jump button again, or press the direction pad towards the surface you're trying to stick to, and then press the jump button again, and Spider-Man will cling to it. And he can move, like on this wall, up and down. If I wanted to transition to the ceiling, I have to jump and press up and jump to cling to the ceiling. But yeah, that's the same thing. Once I cling to the ceiling, I can go left and right. And you see the movement is pretty slow, so you don't want to hang on walls or ceilings too long, otherwise it just is slow. When you get to a wall though, smash the jump button and that'll help you climb the wall pretty fast. But yeah, this is the normal casual route as you're going through this level, and it leads here, in which then you would go up and to the right past these thugs, which I'll talk about them in just a second, like how to handle them. But I want to call out something right here. If you notice this hole is where we were at the very beginning of the stage. I'm actually holding down and right here because as you see this ledge causes me to slide off for some strange reason. I think this one does it too. Like, the game does not want you to be in this area at all. You're not expected to come this way or something, or for some reason, yeah, it just pushes you back off and you could fall back down here and you're back at the start of the stage. Well, in the speed run, it hurt my hand for a while to figure out how to do this, but because I think it's in the task as well. You can, and I'm not doing it, I'm just jumping just to do it for right now, I'm not doing the actual trick. But if you, as you're trying to get up here, you have to line yourself up a certain way. And really I use, I don't know if you see where Spider-Man's knee is, there's like two rivets, I guess maybe we'll call them rivets, steel rivets. There's four in total, and there's like a set of four like right next to Spider-Man's knee, and then there's another set below that. I think to make this trick, as you're, because I know the background scrolls a little bit, when you're first starting the stage, you want to web to this wall, And from these rivets, try to jump up here. And as I'm looking at this, pretty much when Spider-Man's mask overlaps the rivet, that's sort of when you want to jump, try to get up here. Now, again, the game doesn't want you to get up here, so it's not going to outright let you just grab this tile here. So to beat that, use a web swing. And if you time it right with the web swing, again by jumping and holding A, don't tap A, but you have to hold A to initiate a web swing. Then it gives you enough lift and enough time to grab this ledge here. And so that's how you can actually skip around like 1/3 of this level, on normal, that is. But be careful as you come up here, you know, you hold up to jump onto the ledge. This ledge will still push you off, so once you get up here, you want to get off that ledge so then you can get back to this spot and continue through. On Nightmare, if I actually do load up Nightmare at some point, you don't even have to do all that. Nightmare, for some reason, opens up this area where these crates are, and allows you to crawl right through. It's I don't know if like maybe the devs did that just so that they can test or do something. I'm not sure, but yeah, you don't have to go through the jump in the beginning of the game. And just forewarning, I'm used to doing this jump at the beginning, but it could take just a hot second before get used to it and such here. So, but once you get it and get it consistent, oh, it feels so sweet, and I don't think you lose the muscle memory. At least I haven't lost it yet. But anyhow, continuing with the stage, we got these thugs. As you see, they shoot pistols. If you get up close to them, they try to stab you with a knife. But if you duck underneath, you can avoid the knife. Kick them in the shins. I think it's 2 or 3 times. We'll do it on this guy too. And so about 2. But yeah, once you get up here, ideally I like to just jump through because it's the fastest way to move and you can avoid the bullets. You have to duck occasionally, or you can also, another thing like what the task does is use your webbing to allow you to sort of keep your momentum going, because as you see, when Spider-Man jumps and he lands, he crouches, so that causes some slowdown, almost like Batman on the NES, if anybody's played that. Batman jumps and then he lands and he crouches, or before he jumps he'll crouch and then jump, and it's just it's a little slow. I mean, it's necessary, but it's still slow. With this, however, though, you could sometimes, yeah, like that, there you go. You can negate the animation with the webbing and jump out of it. Oops. You might take a death here. Or go ahead and showcase Peter Parker's apartment really quick. As you see now in Peter Parker's apartment, your health is filling up at the cost of you losing time. So you are effectively losing bomb hours here. I like to hang from the ceiling thinking that it's causing blood to rush to his head so that his health goes up higher, but I don't think that's the case at all. But also I love this cool pose, just hanging upside down. And yeah, once you're filled up, you can leave, go through the door, and it starts you at the beginning of whatever stage you were on. And yeah, I have full health now. Oh, and I can showcase an item here. I believe this is web. You'll come across these kind of icons or items, and you can tell from, for the most part, like the shading of the box, whether it's web or if it's health, a full health, or a slight health regen, that kind of thing, or if it's a camera pickup. I think camera pickups are like gray or like a brownish color. Black is like a full health pickup. I think depending on for the blues, I think it depends on like the Spider-Man mask. How the eyes might look like determines if you're getting like health pickup or if you're getting web pickup. So I think this is web. Yeah, so that's just like web pickup. So we'll go ahead and jump up here again. Up. There we go. I like to shoot that guy with the web and then go ahead and jump through. And again, like I said, you need to crouch the bullets coming your way just to be safe, but continue to jump through because that's faster than walking. Once you get to this first little drop way, I think there's some health maybe to the right up here. If you need it, you can grab it. Let's see. Oh, it's webbing. It's more web. If you need it, you can grab it. Otherwise, ignore it. And as soon as you drop down here, you want to come up this path. You could go to the right, but you have to loop around all of this here and then crawl through this tunnel to get to basically the direction you want to go in. There's some other stuff off to the right here. Like I think that might be health and again camera pickup. But again, as you drop through this hole, you want to go to the left. Come down here. If you can get good with your web swings, this is definitely a point where you'll want to use your web swing to optimize your movement. So as you drop down here, I messed up. Let me try again. Drop down here, messed up again. A little tricky. I used to have a better timing for it, but it's been a while since I played. Now I'm doing it too early. There it is. Yeah, if you get that down, you skip, as you saw, this whole area. There was a thug that I took out here. You would go right by him. Don't even have to worry about him. And as you see me doing the other fast way to get through here, jumping through here, the web swing beats that by a mile, like in terms of speed. So yeah, you want to definitely try to get that web swing if you can. Do your web swing. Most likely you'll land here. You want to jump past the box and barrel. As soon as you land here and do a full jump, come down here through this tunnel. And then there's two rats in this tunnel. There is a way to damage boost through them to make them boost you to the left. I've only got it a few times. Otherwise it tends to not work in my favor. But yeah, we take out Mickey and Minnie there and drop through the vent down to this area. If you recognize these boxes, this is the box that on the other side I mentioned on Nightmare, you can crawl through. And so effectively Nightmare is, at least at this point in time, faster than normal getting through this first part of the stage. Now that's health. I think it was different because of Spider-Man's eyes again, but I never remember. But if you need it, you have health right there. So then, once you come out of here, then you can web swing off to the right. One thing to call out, I've soft locked around this point here several times. I don't know what caused it. Be aware that this is a soft lock point when you web swing in here because it's about to trigger a mini boss fight with a forklift operator. And I think somehow web swinging into here against the forklift operator have some adverse effects. So Spider-Man Spider Sense tingles, and now we have the forklift operator. You can't attack it from the front. You can jump over it and he tries to grab you with his forklift. It follows you whether you're crouching or jumping and stuff. Can't shoot it from the front because that blocks it, and even if you get around the forklift, they'll hurt you. Casually, as I was growing up to fight this, I would jump behind it and shoot it with web. But You don't even have to do that now. If you take damage boosts or take intentional damage, you can get in his hitbox, hit him with like 3 jump kicks, and he's down. Now usually, I think he spawns a little bit more over here. I usually take him down around here, and as soon as I beat him, I try to walk a little bit and then web swing right around here, so that once I get that web swing, or if you want, you can web swing much earlier. Depends on how much webbing you want to save. But the ideal is you want to web swing so that when this door opens up and you fight him, you can then jump up on top of these crates. And if you can land on this top crate, that's even better because that'll save more time. Because otherwise, if you don't do that, or if you land on the second crate, you have to jump up here anyway, and you gotta make your way up like so. But yeah, so if you can web swing and land up here, that's great. Jump up there. One thing I did not mention during the forklift fight on Nightmare, that's the first instance where you encounter Venom. And I think I'll just showcase Venom. Like the run is so short enough that we can get through and I can showcase where the different points where Venom appears. It's not completely random. There is, it feels like there's some randomness, but it's not. Yeah, I'll show that off. Jump up here, and for this wall here, we want to get up this wall as quickly as we can and over, because there's a guy at the very top, just like these guys are shooting right now. There's a guy at the very top that can peg you and basically prevent you from getting over, and could effectively take you out if you're not careful. So we want to get around, come down here. I think this might be health. Ouch. Ouch. Yeah, you can see how they can be painful. Oh, that's not health, it's web. So if you need web, you can grab web there. But ideally, as you get around this wall and you fall, you want to web swing into this next area, which then leads to Doc Ock. And with Doc Ock, there's ways I like to approach him to where you don't take any damage, but he might kill me here. But one, when you web swing in, you can take the safe path, and as you reach the tail end of your web swing, jump out of it by holding up. Hold the jump button to where you go up into the air, and then land in front of them with a jump kick. And from there, do the next steps to take him out. You can either do that, or you can take the riskier strat and land in front of him on the ground and just do a little short hop and jump kick him. We're going to do the safer approach right now just because my health is so low. Right? Well, okay, yeah. I was going to say I could use a web shield, but then that brings me to another point. When you have your web shield out, it can protect you from pretty much anything for 3 hits. And there is no particular intensity of damage that, like, say if an enemy is trying to stab you with a knife, it's going to take like 7 knife attacks to break your shield. No, everything that touches the web shield a total of 3 times will destroy it. But if you have the web shield out and you attempt to shoot web, or you attempt to do a web swing, you'll lose your web shield instantly. So you have to be very mindful when you use web shield. If I wanted to, I could walk into this room and use web shield to get close enough to Doc Ock, try to take him out. But I have to be mindful of that 3-hit, basically that 3-hit rule before I lose the web shield and I'm vulnerable. But we're gonna just try to. Oops. So we would fall, land here, hold up, land in front of. Ooh, I didn't mean to go into the EverDrive menu, but land in front of him and I kicked him because I'm holding down and start. So yeah, we kicked him, and based on where we landed, we manipulated him to move to the right. So now he's basically trapped, moved over to the right, and we crouch in front of him to avoid his tentacle attack, waiting for his iframes to wear off. Once his iframe window has worn off, I don't know the exact like, oh, it's like 3 seconds kind of thing. You'll just see it here. Once that wears off, then jump kick him again or punch him, preferably jump kick, and rinse and repeat. I think it's just like, besides the first jump kick that we landed when we first got in, I think it might just be a total of 3. Oops. Well, so much for that. Alright, let's just get back there. Well, you can see I died, and you see the timer also went down significantly. If you need to, you can rewind and see what it was, but again, should be 2 hours that I lost there. Let's make our way back to Doc Ock. Sort of highlight now where Venom will show up. This was on Nightmare. Alright. If you missed that web swing right out of the fall, you can land right here and then do the web swing. I think you don't lose too much time, but just the things going, keep things moving. Right, Mickey and Minnie again. And I think again this is health. Yep. Web swing. Just the jump kick, so that's okay. Alright, 4 jump kicks. Looked like that was 4 jump kicks to take him out. Oh, that icon, that's the camera icon I was talking about before. Oops. Fell a little short, but it's okay. Still managed to land in his hitbox where you don't get hit right away. Basically, you only get hurt when you touch the tentacle that he, like, launches out. Or if you touch him, I think, too. But, you know what, don't trust me on that. Just don't touch his tentacles. Don't touch any part of him if you can. But yeah, I think that was just 3 jump kicks. That was it. So now, Doc Ock explains to Spider-Man there's keys to disarm the bomb. Never get them from, you know, whoever else. Basically, you know, what villains do, talking too much, filling the plot to the hero. So yeah, here, the warehouse was completed. Yeah, taking any pictures, this is where we would have seen those pictures and accumulated more web fluid, but because we didn't, moving on. So as you now see, as I paused here, I have my first key, this red key off to the right. Like 4 more. As you first start this stage, actually I'm going to show something really quick. As you first come through here, you have to be careful because you got all kinds of little obstacles. That little rat that ran by me could hurt me. In the back, I think that's like pipe steam, that steam that came out, the blue steam, that can hurt you onto the wall, which you can here. You can cling onto the background here. And this green sludge, if you fall into it, can hurt you. Which you could accidentally fall down there if you're holding down when you jump. So be careful with your jumps. Such. For some reason Spider-Man can't crawl across the green sludge coming out of the wall here. So he gets stuck. You have to move around it. You can sort of land on top of it there. So yeah, you have options, web swing through here if you want. Watch out for the bats. The bats are probably the most annoying enemy just because they follow you and they're hard to hit. Usually I like to take them out with a jump kick like that or a web shot. And come across these 3 pipes here. If you take the bottom 2, I think they just basically they connect to one another and just take you nowhere, whereas you want to take the top path to continue through this area. So now, one thing that you can do, I tend to do in my runs, is there's two options. You know, if you get wanting to get through here, three options. You want to get through here as quickly as you can. You know, use your normal ground movement, jumping, run, or walking to get through. Web swing on through, but then you run the risk of running into the bat in the blue stain. Or what I do on this stage is in a combination of holding like up and diagonal to the right, as well as mashing the jump button, you can zip on over to this top pipe here. And sometimes when you do that, you might either land down here, or you might land in the pipe itself, maybe around here or up here. Sometimes you might get lucky up here. If you land up here, just crawl over to the left and then keep moving to the left. If you land down here, try to, you know, jump to the left, grab the ceiling if you need to, just so that you can keep moving forward. If you land here, jump to the left. Hold on 1 second, sorry. So yeah, that's how I use that zip to get through. As far as I know right now, that's the only useful zip in the game. There might be more. Part of what makes it work is that the ceiling is here. But maybe there's something else that will allow, like, trigger the zips and make this and break this game even further. There's that. There's one more zip that can happen in this stage, but it leads to like a soft lock. I'll show that really quick. It's sort of, if you didn't have the ability to go to Peter Parker's apartment, it would definitely be a soft lock. But thankfully we do have that ability, so I'll showcase where that is, just to give an idea of where you can do another zip. When you get to as you're moving through these tunnels, this is where I realized for the most part jumping is faster than walking, because I tested the walking against like the rat here. See how the rat almost caught me? And rat keeps almost catching me, but if you jump, the rat can't keep up. You actually leave it in the dust. That's where I ultimately learned that jumping is faster than running. When you get to this little exit here, if you fall and web swing at the proper time, you can web swing out of the hole. Usually this is where I like to hold down and continue to web swing for it, but you have to watch out for these mutant hoppers, as well as the crazy New York crocodile. Web swing over to this end tunnel here. Over here, so he doesn't follow me. This is where the other soft lock is, or the other zip that I was talking about. And yeah, if you do that, it puts you up there. Can't get out. But, because, there it is. For some reason, I think I held the A button, so it made me shoot a web instead. So, but that is the soft lock that can occur there, or semi-soft lock. Yeah, let's fill up our health. Hopefully we have enough web to get through this, because there's a point where you'll definitely need webbing. I'll show, actually, because of that, I'm going to not use my web in this first part that I showed off. We're going to try to save up our web. So I won't use my web here, but again, normally you web swing out of there. I'm going to jump across, try to avoid the mutant hoppers. Up for the crocodile again, land on these boxes. Boxes are safe to land on, the big ones and the little ones. Oops, don't fall into the sludge though. Alright, and just kind of, the stage overall is like I call it like a backwards C. Like if you imagine the letter C, you are sort of progressing through like the upper part of the C. And now when you get through this pipe, you fall down and go to the left. This is where the web swinging comes in. Oops. Where the web swinging comes in, and you need to web zip or web swing back to the left of the stage. So this is where you're now going through the bottom portion of the letter C, the shape of the stage being the shape of a C. Here is now where we encounter our next villain, the lizard, which is again important that you have webbing, because lizard's hitbox is funky. And pause so the music doesn't drive people crazy. His hitbox is his head, and only his head. So if you do some proper timing, you can shoot him in his head, and you can sort of chain it to where it's consistent. Or you can get up close to him and either kick him, like crouch kick him, or jump kick him in the face. But that is so much harder and so much riskier. I've actually, when I was running this consistently, that was the next thing that I was working on to improve. But I didn't continue with it. And so I've forgotten how to do that kind of kill. So we just I'm just sticking with the webbing takedown for now. One last thing about this area. This is the next instance where Venom shows up, like in the warehouse in the last area where he shows up. You fight the forklift guy on Nightmare. On normal, Venom will show up no matter what. If you progress all the way to the left of this area while fighting the lizard. And then the thing with Venom is that Venom will hound and harass you up until you either you defeat him, which his hitbox is just his face. It's hard to hit. Or B, you lose enough life, lose enough health, and he's just like, all right, I'm done playing. I did all that I had to do. I'm going to let whoever's here take you out. Which is extremely rough, especially on the stage after this. The stage after this on Nightmare is a run killer because of Venom. But let's get through this and let me see if I can show how to do the lizard kill. Hopefully we have enough web. If not, I will probably have to reset. Let's see. Oh, I think I might have to take out these mutant hoppers first. Alright, good. Alright, so if you crouch, lizard crouches with you, and he doesn't move. He only moves while you stand up, and then he just runs back and forth after he tries to hit you with his tail. But the time to hit him, is while he's running at you. And if you time it just right as he turns around, you can keep hitting him in the face with the web. And normally on my runs, I tend to go to the left just to trigger Venom for fun. But as soon as you trigger him, he jumps off the screen because you've beaten the lizard. But yeah, with your web shots there, and you can just rewind this video, just shoot him in the face as he's running at you. Turns around to run away from you. And as soon as he turns around again, shoot him in the face. And if you keep him sort of, well, technically he I think runs the same distance like each time you shoot him in the face, so it's not like you're decreasing the time as you shoot him. But yeah, just continue shooting him in the face as he turns around, and you can take him out. If I remember how to do the jump kick kill, I will make another video or a quick highlight around that. So at this point, Kingpin's increased his offer to, take me out, rallying up more people in New York. But now we're going to the power station because apparently that's where Kingpin is doing his broadcasts and stuff, or at least getting the power to do so. Which then has us encounter Electro, which Electro is probably the hardest boss in the game. So as this level starts, I went down here and grabbed this web if you need it, but otherwise you can start the level off web swinging and just moving to the right. But as you move to the right, you gotta be careful for various enemies such as normal thugs, these what I call lightning bats, just these flying enemies made of electricity that hound you. They're like the other normal bats in the sewers, but they have a bigger hitbox and they're just extremely deadly, extremely fast. And then you also have lightning that shoots the guy that tries to hit you at certain points. Um, Spider-Man's spider sense, I think, triggers after the first occurrence of the lightning. Um, and I think with the proper web swing, you get past it. But it's just really on this part, just knowing. I'm actually, you know what? We're going to do Peter Parker here, so I can actually show you the ended strat as soon as you come in. Get our health up too. And this will go pretty fast. I recommend that rewind the video so you can see and just pause at certain times. Actually, you know what? I think I might use this to build up some web too. Build up some web here. Well, you won't normally have this amount of web if you're really going fast, but alright, so one more time. Alright, here we go. As soon as it starts, fall to the right. We avoided one lightning. And I messed up, but actually, so the spider sense is coming in because of the bats themselves. But yeah, if you jump kick them, that's like an instant kill. Otherwise, I think it's like 3 hits with the web ball, and I'm about to die already. Put out the web shield. And he hit me one time, so I have to be mindful of that. 2 times, I just took 2 hits, so I got 1 more hit. But yeah, as soon as you come out, web swing, I think it's like a total almost like 2 or 3 times through here, but there was an item here that I grabbed. I think it was web. I grabbed that intentionally because my web is pretty low after the lizard fight. And then you can web swing past this lightning here. I'm gonna just jump on through. For safety, crouch past this guy, but you can do this better by just jumping by him or web swinging, grabbing that's health, and then you just want to continue to web swing to the end of the stage. I paused right here because on Nightmare, this is where again runs go to die. In Nightmare, where I'm standing, they force a barrier on you to where you can't continue past this point. So you defeat Venom, or again, Venom brings your health down low enough to where you're close to dying. Such. So yeah, you have to deal with Venom right here. And while you're dealing with him, you got that thug there if you didn't take him out, as well as those lightning bugs or lightning bats that have trailed you. Some of them you can avoid spawning, like with proper web swings. But most likely, more than likely, you'll have at least 2 chasing you. You have to figure out how you want to handle them. And on normal, they leave you alone after a certain point. Like right now, if I continue to the right, I'll just have to fight Electro. I have to worry about the bugs that I passed up. On Nightmare, though, the bugs will chase you into the Electro fight if you don't take them out. So that's where things become super tricky, and Electro himself is super deadly because he shoots lightning bolts at you, rapid fire. Um, there is a quick kill to take him out, at least according to the task. I actually have not gotten that down yet. That was another thing that I was practicing. I was speedrunning this consistently. I was practicing on boss quick kills. Those were the two that I was focused on. Electros is really hard, but the normal kill, which I'll show now, balls. Basically, you'll web swing in here and pick up. I think this is health. If not, it might be web, but it's going to trigger spider sense, and then you're not going to want to. You're going to want to bait him to fly low at you from where, like basically where I'm standing, but on this other red metal girder here. So, okay, that's web. I triggered him. I'm waiting here for a few seconds because right now, Electro's flying in from the right side of the screen. Like he's swooping in a little bit higher than I am right now, and I need him to come low. So wait here for a moment and then jump to this. Oh man, I messed up. But see, that's actually a good point to show. If you get this wrong, this is Electro in his craziness. This dude does not let up. His attacks are super strong. Pack a punch for sure. I'm going to try to see if I can trigger him to come a little lower by going to the left here. But you just want to hit him out of that so that he falls. Ah, he got me still. So yeah, you have to get the rhythm down so that you can take him out. As you can. Going down so I can grab that web. After that, watch out for the bullet. Oops, that one. That should be good enough. You have to let the web fly. Like you can be frugal if you want, but you run the risk of Electro tagging you with this lightning man. Yeah, it's about 5 web ball hits. That should do it. He just continues to fly up into the web ball until he gets conked out. Oh, and then at the end there, grab that health that I picked up because your health does not transition. You do not get health recovery between. That becomes really important for the next number of stages. After that, now moving on to start. Find the Sandman. For people casually, this stage is tricky because they don't pay too much attention to this fire hydrant or don't even know too much about the Sandman and Spider-Man, battle backstory kind of thing. Usually whenever Spider-Man fights Sandman, he ends up using like water to help him defeat him. So this fire hydrant is really important. I think that's helpful. Excuse me, we got the hiccups now. We're going to skip that and just swing to the right, avoiding these SWAT members. If we do the hold down as we're web swinging, we can allow us to do those rapid web swings. This gorilla here used to be a really huge problem in the run, but thanks to Sharpie, formerly Sharpie Plays, is doing a quest to beat all the Sega games, I think across like various consoles. Watching his quest, I found a safer strat, or rather he found it, but I was like, oh yeah, that's going into the speed. So now here, when I used to fight this guy, I used to have to be careful, watch out for his punches here, and he would do these crazy turnaround punches that, again, if he hits you, it hurts a lot. You have to worry about these snakes below here as well. Right now, he's sort of cooperating. He'll sometimes jump at you. He's not jumping at me now. I have to worry about that too. I'm trying to trigger him to try to jump over me, or try to jump at me. Good, I'm glad I was able to take out the snake. Oops. Yeah, I used to try to crouch and jump kick him like that. Oh, there it is. But instead, the Sharpie method is get up here and let him jump back and forth. Jumps back and forth, then you just crouch and kick him, which is way safe because after you hit him, he gets like these iframes. That's what makes him really difficult. You have to wait for the iframes to go before you can hit him again. And the jumping back and forth is just enough time for his iframes to disappear. So, okay. Jump on the branch and just kick him as he jumps back and forth. As you can see, he can still hit you as he jumps up, so you have to sort of line yourself in a way where you're outside of like his trajectory of jumping and kick him in the face. That's how we took down the big ape here. Now, continue past here, there's a snake on the ground. Grab that for extra web, and then once we get past these swings, or the swinging bar here, is when we encounter Sandman. If you need to though, off to the very far right, there's a full health right here. Grab that, and again, full health has the black background. Once you grab that, once you grab that, then you just need to hurry back to the fire hydrant. That item back there I passed with the camera pickup. I think that might have been web. Got health. And as you also saw, Venom comes out at a certain point. He actually, I think, when I triggered the spider sense, he was coming from midway. He was coming from the left side of the stage, like from the midway point, a little bit beyond where the ape or gorilla spawned. But usually you'll encounter him as you're swinging back. So as you're swinging back to the left, just avoid him and focus on trying to take out Sandman with the fire hydrant. The fire hydrant's water only shoots to the right, so be wary of that. So it's idea, if you need to, you can put out your web shield. Really didn't need it there, but yeah, you just want to hit Sandman close enough to the fire hydrant so then you can wash him out there. That's the Sandman fight. Again, for any of these boss fights or certain moments in the game, you can just rewind the VOD here. Hopefully be enough, but otherwise you can reach out to me and ask any questions. The next stage is probably the second hardest stage, casually. From a speedrun perspective, it's probably the it can vary between the second and third hardest stage. But as you start, you got this old man, jump over him because I think he can hurt you if you get up close to him. He doesn't kill you though. I think he's J. Jonah Jameson, but I'm not sure because it looks like he has like a cigarette in his mouth. He has the JJ style of hair. But jump by him, and you have to watch out for the skateboarding kid that can hurt you. People that are opening up their windows, dropping stuff, or trying to hit you from out their window. And of course the various SWAT members, police officer SWAT members. This here I think is webbing if you need it. Yep, you can grab it. There's also a full health up here. Grab that as well. And then in the very far right of the stage, there's a health tube, like a slight health regen. So normally, ouch. Just grab that stuff for now, but normally as soon as the stage starts, I'm already web swinging to the right. Hit two, I think we passed up maybe one window type door here. But as you see, I've hit a point where there's a mini boss about to come. Once you pass, I think, the first one, then be prepared at the second one for a motorcyclist to come out, a biker rather, come out and try to run you over. Yeah, this biker can put on the web shield to help you punch them. But otherwise, then you can also use your jump kick. Your jump kick becomes really important. Or you can also use your webbing to crouch and shoot, I think. But what's most effective is if you time it just right as the biker is about to hit you, jump, kick the biker in the face, oops, like so. Do that 3 times. There is a way to take down the biker in 2 hits. I haven't figured out what exactly triggers it. It just happens, and usually I'm like, all right, let's go. Great run going so far. And then just go from there. But if anybody can figure out what consistently causes that, that would be great. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this health that I mentioned before, and now we have to climb up the buildings to face down the hobgoblin. Hobgoblin, if you can, try to stay in between the pumpkin bombs that he drops so that they don't hurt you. Otherwise, like he can't hurt you if you overlap like his hitbox or anything. Only the pumpkin bombs are what's most dangerous here. See, if you time it right, you can just jump over them so that they don't hurt you. But the ideal thing here to do is you either want to shoot him in the face with a web ball or jump kick him. And jump kicking him is the best thing you can do because if you can get it, he doesn't have like a bunch of crazy momentum on his side. You can chain your attacks. Oh, missed them. Yeah, it's about 4 jump kicks. Take him down. But yeah, if you can somehow get him low enough and then catch him with a jump kick or even a web ball, essentially once you touch him, don't let him go. You can take out Hobgoblin really fast. He's deceptive though in that I would put him as maybe the 3rd hardest boss in the game. Maybe 3rd or even 2nd. If you count Venom, because this is Venom now. Venom is a jerk, which let me finish Hobgoblin really quick before I go to Jerk Venom. Again, yeah, catch him with a jump kick or a web ball, and just once you tagged him, don't let him go until he's down. Take him out quickly enough. Venom here, Venom's hitbox is his face. You have to be really careful because like your normal attacks don't outright just reach him in the face. Now, if you put on the web shield, as you have the web shield out and you press the attack button, you can attack with the web shield. I think it's sort of increases your hitbox. I don't know if it increases your damage output, but you can punch him in the face at the right time. However, I like to jump kick him in the face, just as I think it's when he's standing up after he's landed after a jump. Let's see. I have like a safe pattern that I do so that I can kill him consistently. There is a much quicker way to do it, which is much harder, but I can't show because it was one of the last things that I was learning, teaching myself before I put the game on hold. Go ahead and see those. Based on proximity, Venom will either jump really from afar to try to land on you or to get you, or he'll do little short hops in front of you. You do not want him to do the little short hops in front of you unless you're going for that super quick kill. But if you're not going for a super quick kill, then you want him to do long hops, and you want him to jump over you. Here, I'll show that. Try crouching. Here, oops, I messed up. See, now he's already being a pain. Right, good. We got him back. Let him land in front of me. Oops. Hitbox is funky, but we got him. After he came down from the jump, he had to stand up, and so then as he stood up, I jump kicked him in the face, and it sort of. I apologize. It'll be another one of those moments you'll have to pause, like when I do it, to see how it's done. But pretty much, it's almost around when Spider-Man just leaves the ground from a jump. You want that jump kick to come out. Maybe even a little bit less than half a second before, like after he left the ground. You want that jump kick to align with his standing face, and get him there. That's how you get him. Now that we beat Venom, I'm gonna find out Venom then kidnaps Mary Jane because he knows who Mary Jane is to Peter Parker as well as to Spider-Man. And now it's not just a fight to save New York, but it's a fight to save Peter Parker's wife from Kingpin. So now we come to our last full stage, which this is probably the hardest stage in the speed run. Just because normally you come in here with very little health. There's a lot of things that can take you out. So that bat comes in, I like to jump kick it, or you can web shoot it. But now you have these henchmen in trench coats who they can shoot standing and they can also shoot while crouching. So you have to be really careful for that. Oh yeah, they can shoot diagonally at you as well. Forgot about that. But usually at this beginning point, I like to take out that bat and I shoot a web at this guy up here just to distract him long enough so I can get by him to jump down this corridor here. Which then when I jump down here, I swing to the left to get by those two, that sentry turret off to the right, as well as that big robot that was there. Once I've jumped down from here, or at least got past them, then usually I fall down here and I web swing to the right and then do a quick jump to avoid the laser from this turret. And then you need to crawl through this tunnel here to continue forward. Now there is you're going to come across a number of tunnels like this, but just ouch. Try something really quick if it doesn't kill me. Good. Ooh. I'm just checking something really quick here. Okay, there's no health or anything. Just making sure. But what I was going to say is that when you get to these tunnels, you can web swing through some of them. I don't know if you can web swing through this one. I have been able to web swing and clip into here so that I didn't have to like wrap around through here and then jump in the hole. I web swing and I think, you know what? Now that I think about it, get it. Actually, I have no idea. I don't know what I did there to make that happen, but I know it was a web swing and I clipped directly into here, which that would be a time save if that's figured out. But, yeah, crawl through here, jump up here, and you got another walking robot here. If you can, just avoid the bullet and then try to jump kick them in basically the robot face, the robot visor or something, and then crawl up the wall here. You can do the quick climbs to get up as quickly without worrying about getting shot, and then land here. Jump and grab the ladder. Just as you grab any background, you can grab the ladder here and then hold up and jump to the top. Now once you get here, let me also mention really quick, after that robot that we destroyed, so you had two branching paths. You had this way with the turret, or you have this way. If you are afraid of the turret at all, you can just go through here and make your way up to this point. Or you can take the turret path. But yeah, once you get up here, now you have the option to grab these. I think this is health. Yep. And then this is webbing. Yep. And so you now have to get up here where there's two henchmen up here with trench coats, basically trying to take you out while you get up there. The only way to get up there is with the web swing And what I like to do is make sure I'm to the right of this guy, as you see. If I'm to the left, he'll shoot to the left. If I'm to the right, he shoots to the right. And as he's shooting to the right, then I take the moment to web swing up here. So now that that's done, I'm gonna go to the left. I think that's webbing, but we're gonna just check and see. Yeah, it's webbing. So choose at your own discretion if you need that. The speed run, as I currently do it, does not grab that web. But yeah, ooh. I think that was a normal henchman, yeah. Continue to the right here. Crouch. Oh no, that's a robot. Continue to the right, watch out for the robot. You can jump really high to, avoid the robot and stuff, and try to mix in some web swings. If you do a web swing here, just know that it's a really slow web swing and usually leave you open like that. Take a shot. So I just tend to jump through here, and you have to take out the henchman to be safe, but crouch underneath its shots. As you come to ledges like this and you have a henchman shooting at you, be careful as you fall off a ledge, because as you see, it causes Spider-Man's to go into his falling animation, and his hitbox increases. So a lot of times, if you are crouched and you're just about to fall off the ledge, a bullet whizzes over you, and you fall off the ledge, you'll get tagged in the back. And as you see with my health, that's death right there. So be careful of that. This next part coming up, I think if I were to drop, you're supposed to drop and then go to the left, like sort of immediately. If you drop all the way down to the right, I think there might be health, or might be webbing again. Also, there's a henchman to my right where I am now, so watch out for the henchman. But you could grab that item if you need to, but ideally you fall and web swing through that hole like that. And I was actually really impressed that I got that on the first try. Ouch! Really impressed that I got that. Hope I can get that in a run. It's very nice when you get it. Alright, so we got more health and more webbing. Hopefully we can hold on to it. You can see me repeat this level again a little bit. I messed up. Ouch. Normally web swing here, drop through there. That was actually sort of nice. That probably might save time even over the clip that I was talking about, that I've done before. Get through here, I'm gonna grab this web again and get this health even though I don't need to. Then aim right. Get sort of damage boosted by the bullets if you need to. Oh, I did it. I was crouching and I tried to go off the ledge, and he ended up tagging me for it. So you can jump down here to the right, and then if you want, take it safe to jump down here. Oh yeah, okay, that's web. And it had a black shaded box, so that actually confused me there. But yeah, that was more web. If you need to, then you can shoot up, take that guy out like that. See if I can get back up here to do that one web swing that I did. Yeah, I jumped down. Oops. Oh my gosh. I jumped. Ooh, we got it again. Nice. Jumped over, and then I think you'll have to rewind the video, but you can see where I unleashed the web swing so that I can swing through here nice and smooth without having to crawl through. So then once you get through there, jump over that turret, like immediately. Try to just jump over it and land behind it. And if you can, jump again while you're behind it, because sometimes the hitbox on that turret is weird to where you'll still receive damage even though you're not even touching it or you've cleared it. So just be careful of that. And then you just need to jump through the stalactites here, or stalagmites, I forget what they are. Then you fall down this hole, which leads to another tunnel that if you time it just right, you can web swing through. Let's see if I can get this one. Nope, I hit the top of it. But you would, oh, we can try again actually. Oh, come on, get up there. And that was okay, but you can actually go a little further in that tunnel. Let's see if we can get the... Yeah, like that. Yeah, you can clear it. You can absolutely clear crawling through here. Which that's a nice time save, because otherwise then, again, you gotta crawl really slow through here. So you get that, crawl through here, and then here around this point, I think I usually web swing like right off this ledge. I jump off, and then I end up jumping to this wall right here. I think there might be another path, or going to the right is a dead end. I want to say going to the right is a dead end, but you really just want to you know, move optimally, web swing and grab this wall, do the quick wall climb, and then jump to the right here. Avoid that bat. That bat was not in a normal position that I know it to be in, so just be mindful that there is a bat that comes out around here and can hit you and knock you back down the vertical shaft here, so be careful. And then here, I normally like to shoot this guy with a web to get by him, but he's being a jerk, so we're going to put on the web shield and be mindful of our count. So far, again, we got hit twice, so if I get hit one more time, I lose my web shield. And you can, you know, for speed, mix in jumping as well as some web swings. Don't be careful with your web swings. Like, I think web swinging is the way to go, but it could also get you killed here too, because there's a turret right on to the right of where I am right now. I don't want to go over yet because there's also health in this area too. Like if you do go down from here, I think it's over here. So yeah, you gotta watch out for the henchmen. So there's a slight health there. And if I touch the wall, my web shield ran out. So if you need to, ouch. Okay, it triggers early. Okay, good. You can shoot it while it's not even on screen fully. So that's good. And as you see, it only took one web shot. But yeah, once you get here, if you need to, you can drop down there. But risk fighting the henchmen. Get that health if you really need it. Be careful. As you see, you can see that other henchman is shooting up diagonally through this bottom ladder. Like right beneath me is a ladder. It can shoot up right through there. So if you land down in that little pit, he can shoot you. And then the other thing is, if you're holding down, if you land in this pit, you'll drop through and land at where the henchman is, which is a big no-no. You don't want to do that. You want to continue to move to the right. Like I said, you can swing through here. Careful while doing it so you don't get shot. Come down around here. And if you get to this point, there's like sort of like 3 paths you can go. I believe. Let's see. Yeah. So you land on this ledge here as you're falling down this shaft. You come here, you fall down this shaft, and you land here. You go to the left. There's some health right here. Otherwise, you can continue to go down and have to deal with the robot to the left. Ignore him and just continue to the right until you see some turrets. Which normally, yeah, once you get to this point, ideally you fall down, straight down, web swing to the right. Oh, there was a henchman over there too, so web swing to the right, you ignore all of that stuff. And you pass up that slight health recovery too, doing this. So once you get here, there's the turrets. If you want, you can jump by them. I like to web them personally, so I don't have to deal with them. And I crawl through here to grab that web. To me, that web is very important for another part coming up in the last segment here. So yeah, I web all these turrets and web swing to the left. Grab this full health too. You can skip it if you want. I personally say don't, but then there is a few other health pickups you can grab and coming up, and you know, you can make the decision if it's better to grab those or not. Once you do that and jump up here, you got this last henchman who's pretty much blocking the exit. The exit is to the upper left of us. You want to time it just right to jump up here, and yeah, sometimes you'll get shot in the butt and it won't hurt you. Sometimes you'll get shot in the butt and it'll do damage. But that's the end of the level there. And then we're off to our final stage. Final stage, I think this is web. Yep, so you have some webbing there. Actually, that might be slightly faster than grabbing that other web. But then you have to fall down and jump up here. I don't know, crawling versus grabbing that web. Either way, you need some web for the next part. And if you already have it, good. But you gotta crawl through these tunnels, and if anybody figures out a way to somehow zip past these tunnels, you'll be my hero. Because this part would save a lot of time and bring the time even lower. I crawl through these tunnels. When you get to this point, if you go to the left, I think it leads to full health and full web. But as you see, it's super. Oh, I'm getting the Sega CD game mixed up here. I want to say that's health. Go ahead, grab that if you need to. When you get to this crossroads, if you go to the right, there's health or web, one of the two. And then you through that in there, and then I think this might be health or web. I forget. But yeah, once you get to this point, then you go to the right. Now we have what's essentially a boss refight. You can fight all these bosses. It's basically all the bosses except for Doc Ock that you encounter. Doc Ock and Sandman. So Electro, Hobgoblin, Lizard, and Venom. You can fight them one-on-one if it's too overwhelming. But I'm not going to show the one-on-one fight here because it's pretty much the same as in the previous fights. What I am going to show here though is the bomb defusal. Oh crap. Electro lets me out. Alright, so normally you didn't do that. But normally you would web swing out of there. Electro, I moved up too far to the right and he made me pay for it. You fall out of that vent, web swing to the right, and if you can, pull out your web shield really quick because you're going to get bombarded by everybody. And then this is where you start trying to defuse the bomb. So go to web shield and hopefully I don't die. Alright, so there is a quick bomb defusal for this part. There's like some, I think the word is like permutations or whatever, that I went through and I marked all the various color combinations that I got while playing this and wrote them down on a piece of paper. If I can find it, I'll upload it to speedrun.com or something. But essentially, like if if you get dark blue, then you'd have like two other choices to pick between, like red or gray or even light blue or something. And usually, by the time you put in the second key, you figured out like what combination like you're going down. The first two keys I think are really critical. The thing to know, technically the second key is the most critical. But the thing to know about bomb defusing is that you'll always know what the first and the last key are. So as we see here, dark blue is highlighted on the bomb, that color. Know that I know now then dark blue and white here are, I know when they go in, because white is always the last key that you have to insert. So then that then leaves it to gray, light blue, and red. So when you're going through the bomb defusal here, you basically get two choices to screw this up. If you insert the key incorrectly one time, the timer starts to tick down fast. Insert the key incorrect key the second time, the timer skips to 2 hours on your timer and is going down really fast. You insert the key incorrectly a third time, you blow up. And also, warning to people who are sensitive to light. Um, the game does something really funky with the input. Uh, like it almost makes it look like it messes up your TV. And in some ways, to be honest, I don't know. It might be messing up your TV, but it does something really weird. And it then you get a game over, and that's it. Once either the bomb blows up or I guess either once the bomb blows up, any capacity, whether sorry, not blows up. Once the bomb is stopped, whether it blows up or you defuse it, uh, if it blows up, that's game over. If you defuse it and you die after that, it's game over. There are no continues. There's no restarting the stage. Just the game is over, and the run is pretty much kaput at that point. Uh, so that's it. I think I have my shield out. Let's get this going. And I'm going to do it slow, at least initially, just to show you what I do. Like if I'm trying to be safe. So we're going to put in this. Oops. Oh, get the shield going. All right. Go back to the key. All right. So if I'm trying to be safe, I'm jumping around like a madman so that I avoid Venom because all his hitboxes hurt. But also making sure not to get hit by Hobgoblin's bombs and not to get shot by Electro. Waiting for the bomb to cycle through. As you insert a key, the bomb cycles to the next color, and you have to wait for it to slow down, basically back to two colors. It always cycles between a key color and black. And black is not a key that you can insert. So the other color is your key that you need to put in. So in this case, it's gray. Now I put in gray and it's cycling. But now that I've taken out that second key, I can rush the next two because it's either going to be red or blue. If it's not red, then it's blue. Then once I put in blue, then I go to red, then I go to white, and I'm done. So let's try that. So it wasn't blue, it was red, blue, white, done. That's it. That in essence is part of the quick bomb defusal. Um, that's the safer way to do it. The quicker way is basically as soon as you put in that first key, you're trying to put in the second key and trying to figure out what that second key is. Um, you get the second key, like first try, excellent. Get the second key, second try, that's good. But then you still have two more keys to choose from um, that could risk you getting blown up. If you get the key the third try, I highly suggest just holding off. Basically, you don't want to blow up, but you can take that risk if you want. But yeah, that's it for the bomb defusal, and it definitely by doing that brought the time down pretty significantly. The task does it, bloop, 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 bloop. So this is what I've done to get as close to the task. Um, uh, Another important point, as you see here, Spider-Man is taking damage, or at least sort of bomb is exploded on his leg. As these enemies are leaving, because once you put in the bomb keys, they're like, "All right, we've had enough fun. Spider-Man is a killjoy. We're going home." They'll still they can still kill you as they're leaving the screen. And in particular, Venom. Venom, if he overlaps you as he's jumping off the screen, he can definitely kill you. Or as you see Hobgoblin still dropping bombs, he can still kill you as he's leaving now. Hopefully, I'm not dead here. We'll see. Oh, alright, so they left. We're okay. Put on my shield just to be safe. And now we go off to the final fight. And as you see in the right there, it says defeat. It's all well and good, but at the same time, if we lose to Kingpin, that's it. Game over. I guess you can't get up there. There's two ways to get into Kingpin's area. I always take this upper path, I think, just because it's minimal crawling. But yeah, you need to. You got health. You got webbing. Actually, I don't know what that was, but as you see, most of my stuff is filled up. And so, Kingpin, before I get into here, Kingpin is pretty strong and is very fast, and can catch up to you really quick if you're not careful. And when he hits you, he'll hit you across the screen and do a lot of damage. You can outrun his movement by either web swinging or doing the jumping, the jumping movement to outpace him. But just know that he'll just try to stay on your tail. All the while you're fighting him, Mary Jane is hanging over a vat of acid and is being dipped into the acid, or is being lowered into the acid. So it's a timed fight. If you don't beat Kingpin quickly enough, Mary Jane goes the way of the Who Framed Roger Rabbit cartoon characters when Judge would put him in the dip. So you have to beat Kingpin before basically that timer runs out. And it's a pretty lenient timer to where I think half of her lower torso can be sort of submerged, but you don't have too much time after that. Once it gets that low, it then speeds up and just dips her really quick. Gone. I think on Nightmare it's a little faster as how quickly she starts getting lowered, or how quickly she gets lowered, but I'm not 100% on it. If you need to, and sorry, I know I'm paused and talking through all this, it's just that it's going to go by really fast. But I'll be able to showcase things, but I've already explained it once it's on pause. If you need to, at the top of her chain is the mechanism that's lowering her. You can web ball it and it'll slow it down so that she's not being lowered. And that'll buy you some time so that you can defeat Kingpin and save her. It's the same, it's along the same lines as in Revenge of Shinobi. The final boss, there's a spiked ceiling that's being lowered to crush Joe's girlfriend, or I think girlfriend, and you can use your kunai to slow that ceiling from dropping on her. Same concept, but it's easier in this than in Revenge of Shinobi. Last, the biggest thing, Kingpin's weakness is his head. And I think the best way to hit his weakness is to jump kick him in the face. If you can hit him in any other fashion besides that, I'm not quite aware. But it's almost the equivalent of the Venom fight, where you had, as you left the ground, you had to jump kick. You would jump kick Venom's weak spot in his face to take him out. It's the same thing here. I think you have a little bit more leeway than Venom's jump kick to the face. But usually I like to jump kick towards him and hold the jump kick. And that most of the time that lands. But if you get the timing down where you can just straight kick him and then move about your merry way, then that's good too. And so with all that said, finally, here we go. Put on the web shield just so you can see how crazy fast he is. And also you can see how I jump kick him in the face. He likes to run away, but yeah, kick him. And then after you kick him, just run away from him, walk away or jump away. Ouch! Okay. Being a jerk. And Mary Jane's getting lower. Did you see I webbed her chain up there? Now she's slowed down. But I'm going to continue jump kicking him in the face. Walk away, wait till his iframes wear off, and rinse and repeat. Web her chain again. Looks like the webbing is cumulative, so like I was expecting her to start getting lower, but it's actually holding pretty well. Probably mad at me because I'm taking my sweet time here. I think maybe one more hit should do it. One thing to note, if you, I don't know, I think if you kill him on the far left side of the screen here, you sort of have the potential to soft lock the game even at the end game here. But like even in the rules for the speed run, I've specified that that can happen, and I think it's okay. But just so long as some other requirements happen to indicate that the game ended, it should be okay. So let's go ahead and finish them, which pretty much after that, right at that hit, and you can see the cinematic bars or the black bars come in, that would be time. Essentially when you lose control of Spider-Man. The soft lock that I mentioned, as you saw when I beat Kingpin, Spider-Man then pushed him to the right wall there with his webbing. I think that sequence wouldn't happen somehow, and like I think Spider-Man would continue, or something would happen. Either Spider-Man continues to try to shoot Kingpin against the wall, or something else happens, but it won't go to the credits here. They'll just stay on that screen and the music will continue playing. But yeah, that is pretty much Spider-Man versus Kingpin. Normal. I think I'm gonna have to re-record this video. I was gonna hold on to this, but I wanted to show like a full run after I did the tutorial, but I admittedly am tired. But I might be able to pen this with another video or something. So I'm gonna cut that out. But that completes the run. Thank you very much. We will continue this or something next time.